the cost of transport, reduce the cost of electricity. I also believe that we need to reduce government expenditure. Government expenditure is high, and it doesn't have to be so. It's not everything that government should be trying to do. And I want us to reduce government expenditure and rather allow the private sector to increase their expenditure. When government doesn't spend as much, it doesn't have to borrow as much, and it doesn't have to tax as much. So if you can reduce government expenditure, and my goal within the first 4 years is to bring down government expenditure by 3% of GDP, that's about 30 billion Ghana cedis. Now if we can bring down government expenditure that much, and then the private sector provides it, then all these problems of government not having enough money to pay for this or that will go away. If you look at it, for example, in our universities today, the private sector has built hostels, isn't it? It's not government who has built the hostels, and they are providing accommodation. We can let the private sector build so many facilities in our schools. We will rent them and pay little by little. We don't have to gather all the money together to go and buy buses for every school. We can say to the private sector, supply the buses to every school. We'll pay you on a lease basis every month. Then you don't have to put the pressure on government finances. It's like you are renting a house versus building a house. If you are renting a house, you are paying monthly. You can't go and look for all the money to build that house in one go. So this is my approach, to let the private sector, whether it's roads, I mean, you go to Ivory Coast, they do a lot of private financing of roads. So a lot of the uncompleted projects that we have, if we bring in the private sector, as for the private sector, they want to make their money. So they wouldn't delay in finishing the project. Immediately you say, you build, I'll rent it from you. They'll build. There's no doubt. Look, all the digitalization projects we have done,